Do you really want to run a marathon this year? Do you really? Like, not really. So why? So I think it's a good time to reassess like why you're even doing it.
But there's this whole cadence of like, just dream big and then make it happen. Bullshit. Like, no, what do I want? Why do I want it? What's the price? And am I willing to pay the price? Because here's the thing. If I was going to set a New Year's resolution for social media, if I was going to, for me and for everybody else, the one that I would suggest is,
you don't have only 5 days in your fucking week. So stop it.
Oh, hey, they're here.
What's up?
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. You're really going to like what you're going to watch.
Yeah.
If you haven't liked it yet, you should really hit that like, subscribe button.
Like, subscribe. We're going to get UnTucked, and you should probably do it with us.
And if not, we're going to get it all in your inbox.
Let's go.
All right, Wayne, it's January 1st. Life has ended. 2025 is over. What are we going to do? How's it not going to turn out like 2025? How's 2026 not going to turn out like 2025?
You know, let's talk about why your New Year's resolutions don't work. New Year's resolutions don't work because
it's a holiday.
Everyone's doing them
holiday.
wrong. I was doing them wrong forever. And then, I don't know if you're like me, but then I found myself in one of two camps. Like the first camp was like overly optimistic, right? Like I got this, right? 14 resolutions, like game on. It's going to be amazing. And then when that didn't work, I went to the other camp, which was like, screw this, right? New Year's resolutions are dumb. I think they're for idiots, blah, blah. So I don't know, like, have you found you've lived in both of those camps, or where are you at with them?
Yeah, I've realized that I either have to go hardcore, like literally like 75 hard at the first day of the year, or I just don't do it, you know? And here's the thing. I think people feel like they have to have New Year's resolutions, like they feel obligated to because like that's the thing. But
It's the greatest Monday of all Mondays, right? Like everyone's like, I'm waiting till Monday. And I'm like, this is the ultimate Monday, right? Which I don't even know what day of the year it is, but yeah, it's the ultimate Monday.
I think the first thing people have to ask themselves, like, is this really what I want to do? Like, do you really want to run a marathon this year? Do you really? Like, not really. So why? So I think it's a good time to reassess, like, why you're even doing it. But
yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I think and then do the cost, right? Like we were talking about this the other day. What do I want? Why? Like, I'll see if I can get these questions correct. What do I want? Like, why do I want that? You know what I mean? Like, why do I want a marathon? Like, is it actually, what do I? And then here's the third one that I think everybody skips. What's the price? And it's okay to assess what's the price before you make the commitment. And most people think that's small-minded and, you know, blow up my DMs and send me a bunch of middle fingers. But there's this whole cadence of like, just dream big and then make it happen. Bullshit. Like, no, what do I want? Why do I want it? What's the price? And am I willing to pay the price? Because here's the thing. Last time I trained for a half marathon, part of the price was you got to do a lot of long runs, or at least when I was doing the training the right way.
Yeah, tell me,
right?
I've
like
never
you got
tried
to do
it.
like 9 mile, 10 mile runs, right? Pretty consistency, you know, 12-mile runs, whatever it is. Like and that's half of Saturday, right? Whatever it is, right? So I'm okay with not having that as a goal because I'm not willing to pay that price. Does that make sense? And then I guess the last one is like, if you're willing to pay the price, then you have to commit. And commit means you do it when you no longer feel like doing it. But I think it's so good to assess the price and go like, all right, I want to build my house with, you know, or build my business with open houses. Cool. Are you willing to give up 3 Saturdays or Sundays for every month through the rest of the year? And if you're not, that's okay. You just need to figure out something else.
Yeah. What's the saying I always like? It's consistency shows up.
Briskets
like when you're
for life. Sorry. Another saying.
Hashtag briskets. No,
Hashtag
consistency
briskets.
shows up when drive starts to fail, right? Like,
dude, yes.
That's not the poetic way of putting it. I've got it written over here somewhere.
But to your point, like everybody's waiting for motivation, and motivation, like I like momentum because I can do things to gain momentum. Like I can go through a set of things to get into a state of momentum. Man, motivation sucks. Motivation comes and goes. It's up and down. Like I feel motivated after I did it, but I sure don't feel motivated before. And I think people are waiting on that. So like you said, you got to set up. It's discipline. It's unsexy. It's those things. And you know, here's a big thing that hit me years ago. And this was so cool because I was always like, I want to lose 10 pounds, right? Cool. But what changed my life was stopping to focusing on the I want to lose 10 pounds, focusing less on the result and more on the activities. So what I know now is if I drink a gallon of water every day, I go to the gym for 45 minutes every morning. But I know if I do these 2 or 3 things, guess what? I'll naturally lose 10 pounds. Like the 10 pounds will be the natural result of doing those systematic things. And man, when you can think about it that way, I think that's where like the third camp is like, I can change. What's the rhythm that would naturally lead to losing 10 pounds? What's the habits that would naturally lead to 100 transactions? Right. So it's a bit, that was huge. I don't know if that's big for you, but for me, that was like an epiphany. Like instead of like achieving the goal, like I'm going to be the person who does blank. And then that naturally happens.
Yeah. Well, I think for people to keep their New Year's resolutions, I think it's 2 things. I think one, if you were good at it, you would already have done it. Right. So if you're not good at it, that means you're missing something. It's either the drive, the determination, or the skills. And to toot your horn, I think you need a coach and a guide. Like, and do most people need accountability? I'll be honest, not successful. Most successful people do not need accountability. They show up, I'm here today. Everybody's working from home. You're working like it's damn near holiday, but we have accountability to ourselves to get stuff done. But at the same time, if it's something you don't know how to do and you don't like to do, you can lose it. So paying somebody, a coach, to hold you accountable. So like same thing with the gym, I pay a trainer and he swipes the card whether I show up or not. That makes me get out of the bed. It really does. Could I go to Planet Fitness for $15 a month? Hell yeah. No, I pay $500 a month because it hurts when I don't get out. And so I think that's it. So whatever you're trying to do. So if you're in the new year and you're like, I do want to get the results, but I don't have the desire to do it, hire somebody because it will 4X your stuff. I mean, 100%.
And I think that word accountability means something different to a lot of people, right? Some people accountability is like beat somebody up every day, right? And like shame them on social media if they don't do their thing. That's a version. I say it this way, get leverage on yourself. Right. If you want to do something hard, get some leverage on yourself. And like this is leverage, right? Like, hey, we're going to do this at this time, right? Like I know that if I'm not there, I'm letting people down. Right. Leverage on yourself is like, I am going to write a check if I don't do this. Leverage on myself is I verbally shared this commitment with my kids, right? Like get some leverage on yourself. I think is a really healthy thing to do. And like this morning, my truck's in the shop. I did want to go to the gym. There you go. Truck shop buddies. Yeah. So fun. But like last night I was like, hey, Bruce, not going to make it tomorrow because he's one of the guys who work out with him, every morning. And he's like, don't worry, I'll be there to pick you up. And I was like, cool, sounds great. Then he drops this on me. He goes, oh, by the way, today's the last day of the challenge he's been doing. And he goes, so I'm doing back-to-backs. And bro, the accountability at that moment, like everything in me is like, no, like we getting ready to go into Thanksgiving season. Like, what are we doing? And so he just picks up at 5:00. All right. And we do back-to-back workouts, which is terrible, right? Doing 2 F45s back-to-back is some level of hell. And guess what? I feel great. Would not have happened.
Right.
If Bruce wasn't picking me up. Sure, I could have Ubered. I could have whatever, but like, nope, I could have worked at home. Nope, would not have happened. But Bruce freaking sitting in my driveway at 5 a.m. There we go.
No, sir. I think the other thing, and I think you kind of touched on this too, I have noticed, and it happens for me most likely, is I have the goal. I don't have you were talking about, you don't have the path. So I think people that are sitting here January 2nd or 5th or whatever day it is for them, break it down to bite size. Like just still have the goal, but like break it down to the minutia of what you can do every day to push your goal forward. And typically that will be a lot easier to learn those habits and do those things. Like I know I have to make so many calls per week, and so many per week will lead to so many per month and per year. And it gives me flexibility too, because I may be sick and I can double down, do 2 workouts in one day if I have to. So I think that's the other reason people don't keep the resolutions, because they don't actually have enough detail in it to get to it.
Yes. So for everybody listening, like see which one of these it is for you. Like, is it, I'm trying to do everything at once? Like, am I trying to do too much too soon, right? Too much at once. Is it, I'm starting with something too big, right? Instead of going from like, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. You're like, I'm doing 3 hours a day at the gym, like bullshit.
Yeah.
Is it, you're seeking the result, not establishing a routine? Is it, you don't change your environment? Is it like you're saying, Brad, is it, you don't assume small changes add up, because they do. And the best way, this is the best way I've heard to change a habit was like these 3 things was reminder, routine, reward. So like cue, reminder, which is like the cue, the routine, and the reward. So you think about like when someone's trying to quit smoking, one of the hardest parts about that is they're in such a routine. right? It's like they walk into the bar. That's the trigger, right? They grab a cigarette and then they get the reward. Or, somebody that's trying to stop drinking, right? It's like they get home at the end of the day, they sit down, like there's that cue, there's that thing. So like if you can attach a new habit to a trigger, it's like I get in the car, I listen to something positive. I brush my teeth. I do, like, if you can attach it to something you're already doing and establish a new routine, like that can be really helpful. But attaching it to something else you're already doing can be really powerful.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I've been trying to be more intentional with a little bit like morning like mindset stuff, like not like get up, but like come to my office and I try and read some scripture, and I'm reading a book. I'm trying to get through. It's really hard for me to get through this book right now, and I'm trying to gratitude journal. And every day before I leave the office, I stack them right on my desk right here in front of me. So when I come in, it's sitting there. So I either have to move it out of my way, which most mornings I'm like, dude, I got to get to work. I got this thing I got to build out. I got to get a meeting. And I'm like, I either move this or I do what I really need to do. And dude, so you're right. It's just the little things. Trust me, some mornings I'm falling asleep reading the Bible. I'm like, nodding off.
I used to try to do meditation in the morning, and it just turned into like 15 more minutes of sleep. Like it never, I was not doing any actual meditating.
Yeah. And I think, again, the environment, I think, is a big thing. And yes, I'm an office person. Like I just am. That's just my thing. Meeting with my agents, talking about next year. And they're all like, yes, I'm going to come in the office more. I'm like, cool, but why? Like, what are you going to get done in the office? Like, come in, yes, but if you're just going to come in and talk, that's not going to get your stuff. It's like, are you coming in and that's your mindset? Like, I hit the door, I do X, Y, and Z, and then I can leave and go play golf or do whatever I need to do. But like, I got to change the spot, change the chair, change the room. Like, I try and rearrange my stuff all the time just to keep my brain fresh.
Dude, one of my clients the other day, like rearranged his office, and he's like, man, it made such a difference. What I tell my clients all the time is like, your environment isn't an excuse. If you're in a shitty environment, like you still got to hit your goals. But if you can improve your environment, holy cow, what an impact it makes, And to your point, like going back one step is, what's the barrier to entry? So like, if you think about this, like if I know I need to make calls in the morning, but I show up, I got to figure out like who the heck I'm calling. Then I got to figure out like how I'm going to call them. Then I got to figure out what I'm going to say. Like all of a sudden, before I've even made a call, it took an hour of getting stuff dialed in. Like that barrier to entry is so high. How do I lower the barrier to entry? Right? I have my list for who I'm going to call this quarter. Like you said, it's sitting on the corner of my desk. And I also know why I'm calling them this quarter, right? So I sit down, grab the list, start making calls. So how do I lower the barrier to entry? Like same thing like with the gratitude journal, make it simple. Same thing with going to the gym, lay out your clothes the night before, know what you're going to do when you get there. Like where are we accidentally making it so much harder on ourselves than it needs to be?
Yeah, no, 100%. So let me pivot a little bit, but I've been hearing a lot from agents, people in our groups, like, I know I need to do more social media. Like, I know I need to do more social media. Like, I want to give people an out here. And I think we talked about this maybe in a different video, but like, just stop. Don't do social media. Like if you're making your business, if you did well last year or you were comfortable last year and it didn't have anything to do with social media, don't do it. Don't. Now, with that being said, I think you should. There's two ways of doing social media. One to get business, one to brag on yourself, to remind people that you're in the business and getting business, right? I think it's two separate things. Very few people get business from social media. So if that is part of your market, your plan this year, you're going to be sorely upset because you think people are just going to be flooding your phones because you're doing social media. So one, that was one of the big points we want to talk about is like, why is social media part of your goals? And are you doing it wrong?
Does it integrate with your goals, or are you just doing it because somebody says you need to do social media?
Yeah, that's exactly why people are doing it.
Right? Like, are you building a team because that's where you want to go? Or are you building a team because somebody said like, oh, you're doing a lot of deals, you should build a team? Do you know how many people start building teams because somebody said, hey, you should probably start a team? And they're like, who said that? Like, I don't even remember. It's like, what the heck? Oh, what are we doing?
A company owner that wants you to recruit for him? That's who?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, does it tie in? Does social media tie in with your plan, and how so? And people are like, what should I do on social media? I'm like, well, it starts with what's the plan? And then we go back to the beginning, right? It's like, well, I want to do X amount of transactions from my database. Cool. So you want to use social media to stay top of mind with people? Like you said, like that's a different thing than what we were just talking about. So yeah, does it line up, or is it just this actually? Yes, get on social media. I think social media needs to be happening. It's just like a website. Nobody goes there, but you need to have one.
Yep.
So either you come up with a plan to do it, or get a virtual assistant or some company to copy and paste and put some stuff out there. You need to do it, but it does not need to be this life altering. I spend 4 hours a day trying to create this magical reel.
Yeah. It's funny. We had, in our local market, we had a little, panel discussion thing that we do with our local association. And I'm not knocking the people up there because one of them actually does a ton of business, but they got the influencers of our market up there.
What are their names exactly, Brad?
Right,
Just
yeah,
so we can
it's
cut the
with
clip.
a capital B, capital just kidding. And I mean, one lady, she crushes it, does 70 houses a year, has tens of thousands of followers, very good at what she does, younger. But there's also a guy out there, he's got like 100,000 followers, but he does like 3 deals a year. And I'm like, that's cool. And maybe he's making money off his stuff. And that might be his goal. That might be his plan. But he's not a salesperson. So I think you also have to judge that too. Like, what do you expect it to bring you? So,
well, and if I was going to set a New Year's resolution for social media, if I was going to, for me and for everybody else, the one that I would suggest is less at, more with. And that's one thing you and I are trying to do, right? We're trying to create, that's like why we want you to comment on our podcast, because we actually want to freaking talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, comment on this, say what you hated, what, like, we're doing our best to try to connect. So it's less at and work to do more with. If somebody likes a photo or whatever it is, like, drop them a DM and say, hey, I love that you're following my stuff. How the hell are you? Like, how are you actually, like, yeah, less at, more with. It would be my one resolution.
yeah. And the last thing I'll add on social media is, again, talking to dozens of agents a year on their business plans. It's like, I want to be more community. I want to go talk to restaurants and highlight stuff. How about you highlight your business first? Like until you get to a place that you
can't say it. You can't say it. I mean, okay. All right. I didn't know we're going to church. Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm just saying, like, everybody's trying to, like, I want to go interview this. I want to do a community highlight. I want to do this, but you also only have 200 people that follow you and they already know the pizza restaurant. So until you build your business big enough that you can give some time and energy away because you have it dialed in, you are the business, you are the charity. You're not hopefully don't start a GoFundMe, but you are the charity and you need to focus on that. So
and
revamp your style.
What's it going to cost? Right. Cool. You want to do videos? You want to do local, restaurant videos? Whatever's cool. You better do 30 a year.
Right.
Are you willing to take 4 hours every week and go do it? If you are, cool, but that's 4 hours. Right. And you better not do 3 or 2 or whatever. Right. Like when you and I were thinking about the podcast, and it's like, are we actually willing to pay the price? Right. That was part of the conversation for a long term. So yeah, it's, and if you're not, cool, do something else.
Yeah. And I want to encourage people that are hopefully listening and watching, like, reach out to us, legitimately reach out to, like, DM us or DM Wayne directly, because he's the coach in this, and like, look at have somebody look at your resolutions and be like, and question you on it, like walk you through it. And if you can't defend what's in there, kick it out, get down to one thing, and then master that sumbitch and then add something else, like, and snowball it. But
yeah.
All right. So
one other thing is it's okay to have some intentions. Not everything needs to be a goal. Not everything needs to be a resolution, right? Like you can have an intention of getting better at golf. Cool. If you have some opportunities, go swing a club. Not everything needs to be a goal. Some things just need to be cool intentions, but a goal does need to have a pathway to get there.
Let's go with resolutions still. How many resolutions, I mean, in your very scientific and well-versed mind, should people have?
I mean, 1 big, 2 little.
Okay.
At a time. I think that's about the max, right? And whether it takes a month, 2 months to get that thing kind of ingrained, cool. But I think it's 1 big one and 2 little ones. It could be, working out and drink extra cups of water in a day. Like 1 big one, a couple little ones, and you get beyond that, and we start to. But then here's the cool thing: you stack, right? Once you get that one ingrained, you can do another one, and once you get that one ingrained, then you can do another. So like, I would so much, instead of you starting with 12 resolutions, like, let's do 1 a month. And by the end of the year, you'll actually have 12 that are rocking.
Yeah, that's great. What are your thoughts on people setting? I mean, we're going on goals a little bit here. My question's with the goals, but like setting goals for next year, financial goals, income, closings. Is there any like little tips or tricks that you would recommend to somebody when they're looking at their resolutions going, that may not be feasible, or here's what you need to check yourself with?
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. So I'll just call myself out on it. I think you need to do the math. I want to do 100 transactions. Cool. Let's just like you were saying, let's back into it. Does that mean 30 phone calls a day? So do the math. The second thing would be bring it to life. What does you making $200,000 do that making 150 doesn't do? Like, let's actually figure out what the gap is. So let's on the spending side, right? So like, hey, here's how much I want to make, but like, why? Like people say I want to make 6 figures. Cool. Why? What does 6 figures do for you that $90,000 doesn't? And I'm sure it's cool. Like, yeah, make an extra 10 grand, but I want to know why. Does that make sense? Like, because that means we get to go to Disney. Because the extra 10 grand means I get to take care of that college debt that's been following me around since the late 60s, right? Whatever it is, right? And then the third thing is, this is the other side of my mouth. Like, go big, double that number. Ask yourself what it would take to hit that number. If you decide not to do that, that's okay. But I would challenge you to stretch in the planning part and see what could maybe be possible. Because you think differently, right? If somebody goes, hey, I want to make 100,000, I go, cool. Figure out how you make 500,000. Maybe they land somewhere, 200, but that's a lot. It's like stretch yourself to think big, and then figure out, is it possible? What would I have to do?
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I really do. There's a couple things I'd add, and I just preached this the other day to my agents. So I would take your goal. Let's just use transactions. That's easier. January, February, March, unless you're in some weird markets that I'm not aware of, are typically slow, right? And so are December, November, and October, decently. So what I like to do is take your goal divided by 18 parts. You get 1/18 of a goal, January, February, March, and you get 2/18, which would be, I guess, a ninth, the other 6 months. Those are your busier times. So why are you setting a goal that you're going to do the same number of closings, that you have nothing in your pipeline right now for January, when you know in June you usually do a lot better? So temper your expectations with the market of the year. So if you're going to do 4 in June, you're probably going to do 2 in January. Don't try and do 4 in January, or set that as your goal, because you think you're losing automatically. Like, I'm not going to do 4, resolution's over. So I think it's tempering your expectations on your actual goal with statistics in like the calendar.
Absolutely. And like if December is quieter for you, did you plan for that? Or do you need to double down? People are like, oh, I do half the volume. Cool. Well, if you want to do the same volume, do double the work, or plan for it and be okay with not. But like, it's funny how Chris Diana talks about us all the time. Like, this is not your first 4th of July. People are like, oh, I don't know what happened this week. It was crazy. It was like this holiday showed up. It's like, it's literally the 4th of July, right? And this is not your first one, but people are like, I don't know what happened, man. Thanksgiving really wrecked my week. How did Thanksgiving wreck your week? You knew when it was coming. Like, it was on the way. It should have been part of the plan. And this is just the week that you planned for, right? People be so surprised, right? Like, oh man, I don't know why I didn't get my calls done. Because you didn't plan for the holiday, that the name is literally the day. That's the problem.
Yep. And I think one of the last things I'll say about resolutions is it's all gas, no brakes. Like, people go, I got to do this. I got to hit it. Right. And sure. But like, we just did the podcast with Mark Hummel, and, Ginger Peters' podcast always reverberates in my mind. Or have you planned your breaks? Have you planned your time off? Have you done the 1-3-7 that Ginger likes to do? And if you know what that is, go back and watch the Ginger podcast. But also, here's my thing. You don't have only 5 days in your fucking week. So stop it. You don't. And if your goals can't be achieved in 5 days, then you work 6. And they can't be achieved in 7 days, you work 7. And if you can't do them in 7 days, you've got too big of a goal. Like, that's just what it comes down to. But you do not only get to work 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You can, but you can go get paid by somebody to do that. So why are you going to try to do it on your own? Work the plan and work.
Yeah.
Work.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that the challenge I would give everyone that I'm currently finishing up right now is, I can't remember who said it the first time, some really smart person, probably Brad.
Probably me.
But finish the year on paper before you start it.
I did not say that. That was not me. Yes.
Right? Like put the stuff in the calendar. When you go on vacations, when you come into E4 and E5, when you come to coaches trading, when you're taking the family on vacation, when's the national event for whatever, like, finish the year on paper before you start it. So you do your annual calendar, and then you do your ideal monthly calendar. Like, at least get it on paper before you start it. And that goes back into lowering the barrier of entry. So I think that most people spend more time planning a Christmas party than they do their entire year. So let's,
for sure.
if you don't have it done, if you need to go back and tweak it, if you need to take some stuff off it, do that right now.
For sure. All right. So we want to hear from y'all, as we've been saying the whole time. So hopefully made it to the end of the podcast. But like, I want to know what you want to be accountable for in 2026. Like, what's your main ones? You can DM us, or you can just respond back in the comments. That's cool too. And we'd love to be able to talk it through with you. Like, no strings attached. But it's hard to get your resolutions done by yourself. 100%. So don't. So if you got anybody to talk to, shoot us a text, shoot us a DM.